Good Monday morning. It's Monday.
Good
It's a new
morning.
week.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody this Monday morning? How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired. I feel like the weekend's never long enough.
It
Um,
isn't because it starts at Friday at 5 and it's already Monday.
yeah.
Girl, we got sports to talk. Um,
hmm
some pretty cool stuff happening this weekend. Um, what are we gonna talk about first? Let's talk about it's early on Monday, guys. It's been a crazy weekend. I think a lot of people are just gonna be moving slow today.
Yeah.
But Isaac
Uh,
Rochelle retired from the NFL. Uh,
yes.
you started follow didn't you start following him on TikTok?
I started following his wife. Um,
Okay. Okay. Is she interesting?
she is. I love her. Her name's Allie. And it's so cool. Because she really took people behind the scenes of like what it was. Um,
Oh, nice.
marrying an NFL player and all of the people don't really talk about when they go like to free agency or what happens when they get traded or they don't get signed. So it's really interesting to watch their story from like her perspective.
Right.
Especially when he was traded from the Browns to the Vegas. And like they bought a house like in Tennessee and then they had to up and move to Las Vegas. And so it was a really interesting perspective to watch. But yeah, so he announced his retirement on Sunday after 19 years of playing football. Yeah, it was
Can you
crazy.
imagine being a 19-year, and I don't know how long they've been married, him and his wife, but being in that life for 19 years. I mean, if he's even if it's only been 5, 10 years, but just being that wife and behind the scenes and all of that. That's pretty
Well,
cool.
he's only played for the NFL 7 years, but he's played football for 19 years.
Okay.
So he played like high school and college and all that.
Right. Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna have to go find her then. I'm gonna have to go find her on TikTok and
it's really funny. They always she always jokes like, "Oh, she's like the man of the house and she makes the money." Obviously, he makes the most money. And so they're always saying, "Oh, like uh Mr. Kutch," which is his her maiden last name.
okay.
Versus
Okay.
Mrs. Rochelle. It's hilarious. First of all, she's just funny in general.
Right.
But adding a spin to it, and they not just had the baby girl. They had their baby girl about a year ago.
Okay.
Um, and so she took them along, like she took everybody along with the pregnancy and all of that fun stuff. So,
I love it. I
Mhm.
love it. Speaking of football,
hmm
my Cowboys got a new head coach. I think they think we're going to the Super Bowl next year. Girl, please. We got a new head coach. But I'm one of those, I want to be excited, but I think because we've switched coaches so many times,
It's just almost like
yeah,
trying
it's
to kill a
like, dude,
cockroach. It's
you're
not
not,
staying good.
it's the hamster in the wheel. Like, Jerry, are you going to let him make all the decisions? Are you going to let him do the coaching? Because if
hmm
you're not, it's not gonna, it doesn't matter who you put in there if you're going to always do it your way. Obviously, the way you're doing it is not working.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a long name. It's not a Schottenheimer is how you
I
pronounce it, I
think
believe.
so. Yeah.
And then the offensive Cowboys did hire an offensive coach, Adams, as their offensive coordinator. So it's just you keep changing the leadership of coaching, but you're not changing the pattern of how it's going. And so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so I don't have to worry about it again until September or I get August, September. But yeah, Cowboys got them a new head coach.
Yeah, I saw that and I meant to ask you about it, but it slipped my mind.
I want to be happy, like I said, but I just feel like they're
Change,
not
yeah.
gonna do. I mean, I don't know. It's too much, and it makes me angry because I want to be excited about next season, and I can't.
hmm
Um, okay, what else? What
Um,
else?
well, hockey had a lot going on.
Okay. What?
Um,
Oh, girl.
yeah,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
Before we
Yes.
get into that though, JT Miller, who played for the Vancouver Canucks, this was in the talks for a while, and there was like speculations of if he was going to waive or he was going to get traded. He actually got traded on Saturday from Vancouver to New York Rangers, um,
Oh,
right
wow.
before the game in Dallas. So literally, he had walked into the locker room and then he got traded.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I read something about that. I did
Yeah.
read something about that.
So
Wow.
again, it's crazy, but he went home, which was I guess it's almost nostalgic for him because he was drafted by the New York Rangers and he got traded, I think, along the way from someone else to Vancouver, and now he's back with the New York Rangers. So it's probably bittersweet for them. But there was no bad blood between them. There's an interview of him saying like, he valued his time with the organization, um, and some other stuff. But it was definitely interesting.
Wow. Okay, so the thing is with I want you to talk about the other thing. I'm excited about the other part about the Canada.
Okay, yeah. So during obviously everyone knows what's going on in the world right now. It
Unless
is
they're living under a rock
that's
or
true. I guess in
not
the
paying attention.
US,
Yeah.
mainly. In the US mainly. The rest of the world's doing fine apparently. So
The world around us is cool. We're just burning. We're just slowly flaming the fires in this country.
um so during an Ottawa Senators game on Friday or Saturday, I can't remember what date. Obviously when American teams play Canadian teams, they play both anthems, the US national anthem and the Canadian national anthem. Well, during the US national anthem, the fans, um, uh, the Canadians, let's be honest, the Canadians started booing during the anthem,
Mhm.
in response to the tariffs that President Donald Trump has now invoked onto Canada, Mexico, and China. At the time, it was just Canada. Mexico and China weren't even a part of the talks, but so yeah.
It's like a
And
little gang is breaking up, and one person is the one doing it, and the other friends are saying, you know what, she's fallen off the rocker, we're gonna leave her alone and keep doing our own thing over here.
yeah,
And yeah.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, they were booed, and it's kind of almost continued in the last couple games. Um,
Mhm. Two in one night, actually.
yeah.
They two different arenas.
Mm-hmm. And it's really
And
funny
then
is that it's not just Canadians booing, it's
yeah.
Americans that are booing too.
Yeah. And what's sad is one thing about that is I came across a video through social media of where
Hmm.
Canadians, I guess there was a singer at a game back in 2014 in Canada,
Hmm.
that was singing the national anthem, and their mic, or they had sound problems, and the all of the arena was singing the national anthem. They
Yeah.
jumped in and they all did it. And I think that's probably the reality of why Canadians are so hurt and Americans are hurt, because I mean, it's always been good, and we've
Yeah.
always been good to them and they've been good to us, and now all of this.
Yeah.
And hockey, I mean, we all know that when you go to sports games, and we can go back to forever. When the
Hmm.
national anthems are sang, it's supposed to be a moment of honor and respect
Yeah.
and all of those things. And when you have other countries booing, and
Hmm.
even your own citizens booing, that's not a lack of their respect for the anthem. That is a lack of, we don't respect ourselves. In their minds, we don't respect ourselves and we're betraying. So it's just Canada, or the hockey, because I've started following it so much with you, it just was shocking to me that they would do it. But I mean, it's being done. I mean, and people are upset, and
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the fans that are at these games that are having to experience that, but just hard.
Yeah.
I wanted to so this coming Sunday is the Super Bowl, and so before we go to our next thing, I want to get some real quick stat facts about it. Who do you think has the most Super Bowl wins by a
Uh,
team?
Via
Name a team that you think just
Patriots.
by, yes, you're right. And
Oh, shut up, really?
the Patriots and the Steelers are tied for the most Super Bowl victories, each with six. That's why, yeah,
Wow,
six.
my
They've
obsession
got,
with Chris Evans paid off there for a second.
um, okay, what about most Super Bowl losses by a team?
I don't want to say Cowboys 'cause I don't think we've been in the Super Bowls that often. The Eagles, this is gonna be the fifth one. They've only won one. So it's only three. The Broncos.
Nope. Well, yeah, they're one of them. And then the New England Patriots. So they share the most Super Bowl wins and the most Super Bowl losses.
That's
But what that
hilarious.
tells you is the Patriots went to the Super Bowl a lot.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me. That is the stat that I get from the Patriots.
Yeah.
Um, the most Super Bowl wins by a player. Who do you think that is?
I don't know.
You don't know? No guess?
I couldn't even tell you a name. Tom
Girl,
Brady.
it's yep. There you go. He holds the record for the. I was gonna say who has the most wins, who has the most losses.
It took me a
The
hot sec.
yeah, so he has the record for the most Super Bowl wins by a player with a total of seven championships. Obviously, the Super Bowl is this weekend
Hmm.
at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, so fans are gonna be going back to New Orleans. And hopefully it'll be a they I know that they're really, I have a girlfriend that lives down in that area, and they said that they're really trying to make sure everything is covered. All bases are
Yeah.
covered for the Super Bowl, after the tragic incident in New
Yeah.
Year's Day. Yeah. Um, and do you know who is singing the halftime um performance? Do you know?
Mm-mm.
Kendrick Lamar. Do you know Kendrick Lamar?
Yes, I know Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. I didn't know if you did or not. Yeah, he's going to
He
be
featured on a song with Taylor Swift. Thank you very much. Called Bad
Oh,
Bloods. And so I remember after you said that, I remember because there were people speculating, oh, what if she comes out at halftime and sings Bad Bloods? And I was like, that's not gonna happen. But okay.
yeah. She is uh she's not very well liked. That's for sure. Um, and we talked about it last weekend where the betting went down when
Hmm.
with her. So I'm excited. I want to know how much the commercials are. Those are always, I'm actually getting the information right now for us. The cost of
A
the
commercial for a Super
commercial,
Bowl.
uh-huh, and a ticket to the Super Bowl.
Oh, probably expensive. I will say I saw one of the new commercials. Obviously Budweiser probably always has the best commercials, hands down. I saw the new commercial for this year and it was so cute.
Who?
The Budweiser, Clydesdale
I
horses.
love that commercial. I always love but when they bring out the
Oh
Clydesdales. I
yeah.
really do.
That's my favorite commercial, hands down every year.
Okay, so obviously we both have daytime jobs, right?
Hmm.
Um, we're still trying to find a way that we don't have to work like that, daytime jobs, but we would call it a job, right? But so obviously being in marketing and
Hmm.
advertising and public relations, tell me what
Hmm.
you think the average cost of a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl is.
80 grand.
Nope. The
Higher or lower?
higher. The cost of a
One
30-second
and a half million.
commercial this during Super Bowl has reached a record high with slots selling. Are you ready for it? 8 million. This this
That's because
marks
I was gonna go like 10 million. I was like, oh no, that's too high.
an increase from the previous year's rate of 7 million. It's the demand for
That's crazy.
advertising.
Yeah.
I heart. If you want to advertise during the Super Bowl, and it's contributed to the elevating prices because people know
People
that
are gonna
people,
watch it.
whether you,
Like the teams do not, you're gonna turn in for the commercials.
especially if you love football, and whether you watch football or not, most people watch the Super Bowl or attend Super Bowl parties, regardless if it's
Hmm.
their
Teams or not.
teams are in it, because it's just a tradition. It's tradition. And so, despite the challenges, the NFL TV ratings and external fires like the California wildfires are leading for some advertisers to withdraw from the Super Bowl. Um,
I'm not
Now, mind
surprised.
you, they have been successfully resold to the
Of
for
course.
those slots. Other
Of
companies
course.
have stepped up and said, okay, but they go for higher. I mean, the prices is going higher. And here is the gist of that part of it is, if you know that your 30-second ad is going to be out there, and then it's going to be, and it's tied to that. I mean, these companies,
And then
obviously
they
your
get
average mom and pop,
reposted.
yeah, average mom and pops people are not going to be doing that. But I just think it's insane that that
That's that's crazy.
8 million. Whoever used to sell those ads were like, cha-ching.
No, literally sell one of them and you're good for fucking 90 days.
90, heck, you'd be good on a thing like that. You'd be good for a minute,
I
girl.
guess it depends on how much commission you get on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, even if you only got 10%, even if you only got 5% of 8 million, I think I could live okay for a minute.
Mhm.
So, what else? What else? Oh,
Speaking of sports that were still on before we go to break, um, there was another big trade that happened in Dallas.
yes, girl. I, Shout out to my Dallas peeps, Dallas Mavericks fan for
They've been
life.
going through it.
They are feeling it, Mikayla. I've been watching on social media and talking to some
Hmm.
friends via text, and
Hmm.
people are losing their mind that Luca, which
Is
love
it
him or
Luca
hate
or
him, which everybody
Lucas?
loves him. The he was part of the, I mean, he was part of our team and people loved him, but they
Hmm.
traded him to the Lakers with LeBron. And obviously the Lakers are not a like team in the NBA by a bunch of teams, but that teaming him up with LeBron, yep, fans are mad. And the my understanding on all of that is that it was done in such hush hush quietness that a lot of people didn't even know it was coming, that it wasn't you know what I mean? Like nobody knew
Yeah.
it was coming until it basically
I
happened. I think that's
Yeah,
probably what.
I was gonna say I ended up seeing after we talked about this, off record,
Mhm.
I ended up seeing a video of the GM and the head coach where the GM was like, no, this was my decision. Like I backed the coach, but like ultimately like I made the decision to trade him. Like almost trying to save their butts. Because
Yeah.
obviously the talk was that the head coach made the decision to trade him and traded him without the GM's notice or approval. So,
And I think, what do you think about that? Because I read up on that as well, and my whole
mhm.
thing is what do we complain about with the Cowboys? That Jerry doesn't let the coaches do their jobs. And
So,
I
so
know, go
I
ahead.
think we've got a very unique perspective on it, because of the last season that we had.
Hmm.
Um, but ultimately, I don't think a lot of GMs are in the trenches with the teams. The head coaches are, or the assistant coaches, or whatever. So they know the players, they know how they're playing, they know if they think a player is going to be good this season, or they think that it's kind of almost time to cut the losses.
Hmm.
Um, so while I respect like a GM does manage a team and an organization, I think ultimately like the decision should rely with the head coach, um, because they are the ones with the players. But I can also see the other side of it is because the GM is going to know the money side because a lot of teams have cap spaces,
Hmm.
so they have to watch how much they pay or who they're bringing in because they can go over the cap space, they have to stay under the cap space. So the GM knows the money side behind the team,
Right.
but I think the head coach knows the team. And so it's almost like they need to play together um to make sure that it's best for the organization. But as in regards to a player, trading, I think ultimately the decision is up to the head coach.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think for it, I mean, at the end of the day, I agree. And I use the Cowboys as the example. Is this
Hmm.
coach basically just he knew what he wanted to do. He didn't ask
Hmm.
permission. Whatever happened behind the scenes, obviously with ownership and them not or general manager and them not knowing. But
Hmm.
again, everybody has a role in an organization, and
Hmm.
you can the one thing that I think a lot of teams struggle with is there's too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. And
Yeah.
what are the specific roles? So I liked Jason Kidd though. I've always liked Jason Kidd. Um, but I respect the fact that he allowed his coach to make the decision
Hmm.
and they stand united and fronted. Now,
Yeah, and now he's
uh,
backing him, yeah.
yeah, and backing them, because as leadership within an organization, you have to stand behind each other. You can scream and shout all you want behind closed doors, but you don't take it
Hmm.
in front of the doors out into the public. And
Yeah.
so I'm glad that I'm telling you though, my Dallas people, they are and they a lot of people despise no different than the Cowboys, but a lot of people as a Mavericks fan despise the Lakers, and now they're taking their one of their key players over to
The Lakers. Did
over
they get someone in like
like two
response to it?
people is my
Oh,
understanding.
okay.
Like they did two different things, I don't know all the specifics. I don't remember them all, but I know that it was just the big thing was nobody knew. Actually, I don't know if you saw it. Fans yesterday purchased a blue coffin and took it down to the American Bank Center and laid flowers and a
The American Big
coffin.
Center?
I'm sorry, downtown Dallas. Sorry. And then they left like it was a memorial with a big old sign that said MFFL, Mavericks fan for life, with a big circle and a thing through it. It's sad, but it's funny because when you're a diehard sports fan, right, of
I
a
think
team.
Texans are just hilarious
Yeah,
as
it
the
was
sports
like so
fans.
extreme. They brought flowers. They did all like
That's
someone really died.
hilarious.
And some fans really did die on the inside, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Before we go to break, one more thing. How much do you think a Super Bowl ticket cost?
Probably $1 million.
No. So historically, the average, according to TikTok, according to Ticketmaster, the average sales prices have ranged from 4 to 6 thousand. As of now, the average ticket price you getting paid Friday is approximately $8,076.
Not that much.
Yeah, so that's nuts. So if anyone has an extra, I mean, we'll get into it later, but I mean, if the tariffs don't affect you, if you have an extra $8,076 laying around, you can get you a ticket to go to the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Uh, and on that note, we're gonna go to a quick break. Want to know what's going on in Corpus Christi? Make sure you check out cceventscalendar.com. That holds all of the events going on for the entire month. New are added daily. And again, that is cceventscalendar.com. So,
Okay. So mental health. We don't have anything again right now other than still we're on day 14. Obviously, today's Monday morning, and so we're on day 14 of our new administration. And I think everybody's mental health is being challenged by all the ins and outs of what's going on. Um, but the main thing is prices are going up. So my mental health moment is don't panic. We're all gonna have to as a nation panic, work together. Panic's not gonna save it. As far as these prices, we're gonna be hitting it's gonna be hitting our pocketbooks at the pump, and there's freaking out and stressing. I know this weekend I saw something that was really, really upsetting to me. And I by some stuff on social media that people were posting that I personally knew. And my psyche told me you need to remove yourself from this circle. And so mentally, because it was bringing me down, it was frustrating me. And so that's your mental health moment. Just take it one day at a time, guys. Everybody's trying to make it, and so much going on, so much being thrown at us, that it's just better to try to um, get through it and listen to your body, listen to your mind, listen to your body.
Yeah, I was trying to find I saw something on TikTok, and I thought I had liked it, but I didn't. Um, but there is um it's not it's a like it's almost like a letter. And I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically saying like don't panic because um he's trying to cause chaos and confusion to make people look away as he's trying to get bigger and harder laws passed, but people at the higher authority than him are banning it. Um, so I'll have to find it before next time because it really I think helped me like kind of calm myself down. I'm not big into politics. Like
Right,
it's anyone who's known me since I was 18. It's just
right.
it's one of those things that it's way over there.
Hmm.
Um, but like it was starting to get like, oh my God, like should I move out of the country kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Um,
oh
and
yeah.
me and my mom talked about it before, after he won the election in November. So we talked about like literally moving out of the country. Um, and it was very like, oh God, like, and then I read this and I read the letter and I was like, okay, like this, it helps me. So I'll have to find it before next time we see each other.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are doing that, and it's not because people don't love America. I know that that's not why if a lot of people were to choose, it's because it's just becoming we're supposed to be and I believe that. I was raised Mexican American. I know my roots. I know all of that. I know the stories of immigration. I know all of those things. I know so many laws are being passed in different states, and of course they're leaving a lot of things to the state level, which is fine. But it's just a lot, and people have to remember that you can't fix everything. I had someone coming and DM me yesterday, um, trying to talk politics. And the thing is via the frustration becomes when people try to text or talk via not vocal, but just
Hmm.
do, on text, you can misinterpret, and it gets people upset if they misread it. So this person, I asked them to give me a call, and they called and we talked about it. Because I don't want misunderstandings on either side. And just like what you
Yeah.
just said a minute ago, you know what, Melina, it's way over there for me. It's over there. But the problem is so much is happening right now
Yeah.
that we really need to. But we also have the advantages of social media. So
Hmm.
all these TikToks are happening in real time, and we're
Hmm.
used to in getting things at a pace, and now we have so much that we're being thrown at us. And so I do feel like a lot of things are being done behind the scenes just to rush it through and diverting, because let's talk about it. When we talked the other day, there was a plane crash.
Yeah.
I think there's been, I don't know how many more plane crashes since all of that started, you know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
people are panicking. I wouldn't fly right now, me personally, um just out of fear. Um, so mental health, make sure you take care of it. Make sure you check yourself. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with positive people and sticking to the facts. Don't
Yeah.
allow yourself. And if you feel like you can't have the discussion without losing yourself, it's okay. It's okay to say, I'm not going to talk about this right now. You can be
Yeah.
mad at me, you can call me every name, whatever. Okay, my favorite part, one of my favorite parts of the show is asking you your would you rathers.
Hmm.
Because and no technicalities. So I'm calling it now. No technicals. You take it for what the would you rather is.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather
Hmm.
go on a month-long vacation anywhere in the world, fully
Hmm.
paid for,
Hmm.
or have a fully paid for weekend with your favorite celebrity?
So my immediate thought was, am I going to get paid for my job on this month-long vacation? Because if I'm not, I'll take the weekend. But if I'll get paid, I'll take the month-long vacation anywhere in the world.
So you would rather go on a month-long vacation than have a weekend getaway with your favorite celebrity?
Yeah. Anywhere in the world, fully paid for? Hell yeah.
Girl, no. I would
But
take
like I
the
said, if I don't get paid for that month, then I'll take the weekend with the celebrity.
who would be your celebrity?
That's a stupid question. You know who it would be.
The listeners don't know. The watchers don't know.
Oh no, if they've listened, they know. If they've listened, they know.
That is funny. Okay, so I would take the weekend getaway with the celebrity. Um, I might get some hate on this, but I would love to hang out. I have a few of them, so it would have to be whichever one of I'd have like a set of five that so that if
They got
one,
A, B, C, D,
yeah,
E.
if they couldn't make it, then I'll go to this one, and then I'll go to this one, and um, so I would love to spend a weekend. I don't know though, because it says weekend getaway. I don't with your favorite celebrity. Is it so? I'm not trying to be technical, but is that like, are they talking like a
Oh,
getaway?
uh-huh.
Yeah, are they
Technicalities.
talking a getaway romantic, or are they talking a getaway just to get away for the weekend and have fun? Because that would determine. I want to hang out with Snoop, but I don't want like a walk 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 kind of thing, right? Getaway weekend. Um, Jennifer Lopez. I love me some Jennifer Lopez. I would love to hang out with her for a weekend. Obviously, The Rock. And we wouldn't even have to be a romantic one. It could be going because he's so fun. I love watching him on social media. He's so fun. He's a he's just fun. And then I don't know. I mean, celebrity, there's so many females I would love to hang out with because they're just um maybe Khloe Kardashian, but I wouldn't want to go like around all the sisters. I would want to be it would to I would want it to be one-on-one time with Khloe because she's my favorite. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Would you rather have the energy and metabolism that you had in your youth or the wisdom and confidence you have now?
First of all, I'm still in my youth. Thank you very much.
A few more months.
Um, I don't know. That's a hard one.
I would I'm thankful for the wisdom and confidence I have now. I do. I am because I do. I'm a lot different, but energy and metabolism of my youth. Girl, I was a wild child. Heck no, I have. Whoo, y'all see, I'm still wild, or people say that, and I'm like, no, I have. Yeah, I couldn't go back to my youth. It's way too much. Um,
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with that. I'd have to go with the wisdom and confidence.
Confidence, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Hmm.
Okay, and then what's our today in sports?
So we're taking it all the way back to 1876.
Well,
Today
so
in
is Donald J.
sports.
Trump, but nobody's complaining about that either. So I'm okay
Al
with it.
Okay, so today in 1876, Albert Spalding invests $800 to start a sporting goods company manufacturing the first official baseball, tennis ball, basketball, golf ball, and football.
$800.
Mhm. Start a company. And on that note,
And on that note, it is Monday morning,
it's
February
Monday
3rd.
morning.
Oh, one thing I don't know if you know, there's going to be a lot of protests, immigration protests today. It's a day of immigration with no work. People are not going to be immigrants in general, not when we say immigrants, we don't mean just Mexicans, okay? Immigrants are immigrants. And so they're having protests. So that's going to be something for everybody to kind of watch and pay
Watch out
attention
for
to
you.
because there's going to be protests all over. Or not protests. It's gonna be silent. They're not going to work. They're not going to school. They're not purchasing money. I mean, purchasing. They're not spending
I
money.
want to
Sorry.
purchase money.
Yeah, they're not spending money here in the U.S. or they're trying. That's what the thing is
Hmm.
for. So, guys, y'all take, I mean, I know we've come to the end of our show, but it's rough. We got to sit, we're better together as a communities, and dividing it by disagreement is not good, and
Hmm.
arguing isn't good. So just take care of each other and not be so hard on people, on each other. Just take kindness.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, this is the end of our show. So as always, if you like listening to us, make sure you follow and subscribe to us on Spotify and YouTube. Um, like us, rate us, comment, give us a high five. Um, and as always, this is Michaela.
This is Melina.
And remember, sports are for girls too.